Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie or Cakes and we're back with another video. Today I think I just kind of want to talk about my weight loss journey, how I've gone about like starting it, how much weight have I lost. We will do like a check-in. What was my starting weight and what am I now? And as I talk about this, I do want to put on makeup just because kind of like sitting here and talking in front of a camera makes me a little, I don't know. So we're going to put on makeup while I talk about this. So I've been on a weight loss journey, I want to say for about a year. Yeah, let's say a year. And in that year, I've really had to teach myself restraint all over again. I've kind of had to relearn moderation. I've had to relearn it's okay to be full and not finish your meal. It's okay to stop eating. And mostly, it's okay to split your portion sizes up. You know, it's okay if you want to split a meal. It's okay to have leftovers. You don't have to eat absolutely everything that appears right in front of you. You know, it's okay to show some restraint. That's something that I had to relearn because I grew up feeling like I had to eat everything. I had to finish my plate. I had to eat everything. I'd be given extras. I'd be snuck and given extra food, extra sweets, extra snacks. And I know that it was a form of love to them and it was a form of care to them, but in actuality it instilled some really bad habits in me. It got so bad that when I was in middle school I was already being ridiculed and bullied for my weight. I wouldn't say that it was like a lot because I had a lot of friends. I'm a very sociable person, but there were definitely comments being made about my weight even within my own household. Which, looking back, it's really sad. It's really messed up, but it is what it is. It happened. And on top of that, I was like doing intense workout tapes when I was in middle school. And I don't think you should raise a child to feel like weight is everything, but I also feel like you should definitely instill in them good habits when it comes to their health and working out, but not to the point where working out is their identity and their personality and you're essentially fat shaming your kid when you could go about it a healthy way and helping them to maintain a healthy weight. So when I got to high school, yeah, we had to take it back. When I got to high school, I had an eating disorder. I don't think anybody knew. I didn't really talk about it. I didn't really tell anybody about it. It was one of the only ways to have people to stop talking about me, stop talking about my weight. And then the comments of, oh, you've gotten smaller. They didn't make me feel better. They didn't help me in any way. They didn't give me some sense of accomplishment. It actually kind of made me feel worse because I wasn't being authentic. I was actually being very harmful to myself and my body. And something happened right after high school. Right before I started college, and when I started college I didn't get the mental health help that I needed. Didn't have an eating disorder anymore, but my mental health was really bad, and so I started to eat everything. Before I didn't have very good eating habits, but when I hit college, I want to say sophomore year is when it really hit me. I went into eating hyperdrive, you guys. It was so bad. I was so depressed. I would fill that void with food. It was the easiest for me. It was easy to get. It was just, yeah, I would just fill that void with food. Brief segue. I used my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and then I also went in with my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, the green one, the original, and now I'm going to be going in with my Joa Beauty BB Cream. It's finally almost empty, and so I just kind of want to use it up. But when I was in college, I gained so much weight that first like year and a half. And then I met my partner, and I still gained weight, but it was a difference in me gaining weight because I'm depressed and like in my eating era or whatever, but it was more so, it was like the happy fat. He fed me well. He fed me a little too well. And so after college, I kind of didn't get into the sector that I really wanted to be in. I was kind of floundering, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I'm doing. And I have to just take it step by step, day by day, and just kind of reassess what makes me happy and how can I be successful? Like, do I even know what I want to do with the rest of my life? It's very hard, you know, it's very hard to kind of figure those things out no matter what age you're at. But after college, I continued to gain weight. 2020 hit. I continued to gain weight. I want to say by 2020, 2021, I was around my highest weight, which was 234 pounds. It was really bad. I just remember being in pain every day. My knees were starting to be affected. My joints were starting to be affected. I was in pain a lot. I couldn't do the things that I used to be able to do. I also live pretty far from like my social network, so that also added on to why I still just would eat like in my free time. And when I got sad, I would sneak and eat food in the middle of the night, and it was just a really bad cycle for me. At the end of 2022, my job closed down, and I decided that I wanted to stream. I wanted to make content. I wanted to do, like, this was something that I'd always wanted to do for a very, very long time, and I would just talk myself out of it. I would be afraid. I was like, you know what? There's literally nothing holding me back at this point. I am at rock bottom. I'm at my lowest low. It can get any worse than this. So I started streaming. I started making content. I've been very, very happy making content about different things, about gaming, about beauty, talking about K-pop and music. I've been really enjoying that. I love streaming. I love picking a game to play. I love having interactions with like my chat, which is now, you know, my community. Like, I've managed to build my own very small and thriving and growing community of people and peers and confidants and friends, and it's been very humbling. It's a very humbling experience for me. And so at the end of 2022 into 2023, I decided that I didn't want to be at the weight that I was anymore. I didn't want to be 234 pounds. I didn't want to be, for all intents and purposes, I don't want to be fat anymore. It had nothing to do with wanting to be skinny. I don't care about being skinny. I don't care about being thin. I just did not want to be unhealthy anymore. I wanted to get rid of my back pain. I wanted to get rid of my joint pain, my knee pain. My partner took me to Universal for the first time in 2023? No, 2022 actually, right before my job closed down, I think. And I could feel it. I could feel it. This is my Anastasia Magic Touch Concealer in the shade 21. It's not exactly the right shade. It does make me look a bit too orange, but it's almost empty, so I'm just going to use it up. When my partner took me to Universal, that was just another like reiteration to me that I wanted to lose weight, because I wanted to make sure that I could safely fit in the rides. I wanted to make sure that I could safely, you know, depart rides, that I wasn't in any danger when it came to being on roller coasters, that I wasn't putting anyone else in danger if we're all sharing the same seat. Walking was another really, really important thing to me. I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't be out of breath after 2 minutes. We went back to Universal last year. Same thing. I was like, I don't want to be at this weight anymore. It's not healthy, especially for me. I'm only 5 feet tall. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Like, I'm a very small person, and so I was just like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm really tired of this. I don't like feeling like this anymore, so I'm gonna make some changes. Now the concealer I'm going in with is my Kimchi The Most Concealer in the shade Maple. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a change. I really need to, so I will. And so into 2023, that's when I really started like focusing on my weight, but it wasn't a big priority. So I'd lose some pounds here and there. I'd fall off the wagon. Everyone does. You know, it's called a journey. Like, it's okay to suddenly fall off, and then as long as you decide for yourself that you want to continue losing weight, it's okay. Just try again. You're the person in charge of deciding whether you want to stop losing weight or not, you know? And so what did I do in order to lose weight? Firstly, I stopped ordering such big portions, or I have a really bad habit where we'll go eat somewhere and I'll order something I've never tried before, but the portions end up being massive. And I used to feel like I needed to finish all of it. I don't. They're called leftovers, baby. So I started not finishing my meals or feeling obligated to finish my meals. I've implemented having more leftovers that I can either have for the next day or later on. So I'm essentially splitting whatever calories that full meal is. I've split it in half, which is better for me, and it makes me feel better inside. I do count calories on occasion. It just depends on for what. But I'm not so hardcore about it to where I'm like, oh my god, if this is 500, I'm not going to eat it. I'm probably still going to eat it. I don't snack as much. We don't have as many snacks in the house as we used to. My partner is also like taking their health really seriously, which I love. Like, I want to be around for a long time. So it has really also helped that they also want to take their health more seriously. I usually don't use 3 concealers, but I feel like there's not enough contrast. So I'm adding the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Deep Chestnut. Just a little bit. But another thing that I started doing is just not snacking so much anymore. I stopped sneaking food in the middle of the night. I stopped asking for snacks throughout the day. If we get like dessert or like cheat meals, we'll usually like go out to eat on the weekends, which I think is okay. Or if we want to get ice cream, it's only one day a week. It's not like every day or every other day. I've just been mindful of my calorie intake. Sometimes I'll do intermittent fasting, but not like every single day. And let me tell you, it has definitely made a difference. I also started using my Switch Fit, which I'd had since like 2022, but we never opened it. Yeah, if you're anxious about going to the gym or you feel really uncomfortable in a gym setting and you have a Switch, please go ahead and get the Switch Fit. It honestly really works well. And get a yoga mat. Because it works. I'm telling you right now, it works. So yeah, I started doing more of these things, been more active in the daytime. I'm really a homebody now and I don't really go out as much as I used to. So the Switch Fit honestly helps me stay more active and just get some movement throughout the day, which I think is really important, especially if you're not really into being outdoors active. So the big question is, how much do I weigh now? So again, my starting weight was 234 pounds. It showed. It showed in my face. It showed like in my stomach. My thighs have always been pretty big, so they haven't really, I don't think they've changed that much since I've been on this weight loss journey. But now I am sitting at around 169 pounds and I think like 6 ounces. Give or take. I did weigh myself this morning. I still don't know how I got here, but I can't really fit any of my clothes anymore. I used to primarily get 2XL, and now all of those shirts that I love are more like dresses now, so I'm like, should I just get a clear belt and wear them as a dress? I don't think I'm really gonna get rid of my shirts because I really like them and I don't want to get rid of them. I can't really fit any of my jeans anymore. There are a bunch of dresses that I can't fit anymore. Everything that I can't fit, I've mainly posted on my Poshmark. I don't really talk about my Poshmark. I feel really weird about even bringing it up now, but it's on there. I also just became a Poshmark ambassador because I've been selling since 2019. So if you do want to check that out, I will have that link down in the description. If you tell me that you came from YouTube, I will give you a bigger discount because honestly, you're helping me. I don't want any of these things and I don't need any of these clothes anymore. So it would actually be very helpful for me to just get them out of here. I've also been donating clothes. I've been giving clothes away. It's been a very strange journey, let me tell you. Like, even now, I feel like not a lot of people talk about like the aftermath of losing weight because I still feel the same and I still feel like I look the same even though my clothes don't fit anymore. I still feel like that fat 234 person. Like, I don't feel like I've lost as much weight as I have, even though I did it. Like, I put in the work. I have. I'm using my e.l.f. HD setting powder in soft luminance. This is just an e.l.f. kind of day for me. Just want to set all of that concealer that I put down. And I'm just going to go around the face. I haven't really been contouring or bronzing for that matter, which I was never really that big of a fan of it. And I like it even less now than I did before. It might just be because I haven't found a good bronzer or a good concealer for my skin tone. If anyone has a recommendation, please leave it down in the comments. But yeah, I've just been focusing on my health, focusing on making my content. We're growing slowly but surely, and I love to see it, and I appreciate each and every person that has stopped by and liked a video, whether it was only for K-pop, whether it was for the Filipino music that I've been watching, whether it's for my beauty content, or whether it's for my gaming content. If you like gaming, if you like to see different games from different consoles, you could check out my collection catalog. I will actually link it up above. It's a whole playlist that's about gaming and then different things that I collect, like my bag collection, my Funkos, Nindoroids, Figmas. I have a lot of stuff. Oh my god, me and my partner have so much stuff. Okay, we've powdered down so I'm a little less shiny. That's also my favorite K-pop group to this day. Okay, I'm gonna quickly do my eyebrows. I did just cut them this morning, so I'm probably not gonna fill them in that much. Gonna be going in with my Joa Brow Down to Me Dual Brow Pencil and Gel. Okay, here's my super angry eyebrows. Gonna use the gel side. Like, it's good. I just wish that it was black versus black brown. Okay, so now that we've done all of this, I'm going to quickly put on some blush and highlighter. Since I'm on like an e.l.f. trend, I'm going to go in with my only e.l.f. liquid blush. This is the Camo Liquid Blush in Gorge Orange. So I guess my eye look is also going to be orange then. And then some dots on my nose. I'm going to go in with that same brush I used for foundation. Oh, I may have put too much on my nose. Oh my. Buff it out on my nose. Gonna put just a little bit more on this side. Oh, I think it looks really pretty. Okay, sadly, I don't have an e.l.f. highlighter for some reason, so I'm just gonna go in with my Beetlejuice and Makeup Revolution Recently Deceased book. I'm actually gonna go in with this shade right here, which is more of like an orange. I think it's really nice. I think it's really pretty. So I'm gonna go in with this dual-sided brush, and I'm gonna use this like flatter side. I really like it because it's super pigmented, but you can also build it up. Can't forget the nose bridge. I feel like the line is just too small, so I'm gonna go in with a different brush. I believe this is a Sigma E40 tapered blending brush. I remember when every single MUA for some reason was like speaking this brush up so much, and I'm like, it's good. Do I ever use it? No. Like, it's good, but I don't know if it was as good as you were saying it was. It's helped me diffuse it a lot, which is good. Bring it up just a little higher. Okay, that's actually quite nice. And so now we are going to quickly do an eye look. I guess we're going to go for orange. Okay, so when I went to go see my sister, I've given her so many of my palettes, but this is a palette that I actually got back from her. It is the Hello Kitty and Colourpop quad in Teenie Keenie from like a couple years ago. And it's just orange. Turns out I don't really have as much orange as I used to have, which is quite sad to me. But that's what happens when I tend to sell or like give away a bunch of my palettes, and then I go through the color stories that I still have, and it's like, you don't have much. I'm going to go in with Itsy Bitsy, which is this deepest, like, kind of a blood orange. I'm going to go in with that same E40 tapered blending brush from Sigma. It would show up more if I used like a real base, but I kind of want it to be softer, more diffuse, kind of blended into the skin. And now for the highlighter, I'm going to be going in with the Shimmer Sandcastle. I like to go in with my finger first, and then I'm going to fix everything up with a brush. Okay, I'm going to grab a really tiny brush. This is from Jessup. It's a detail shader. It's super tiny, and it's one of the ones that I primarily use for like my inner corner highlight or just for fixing up shimmer shadows. Because the brush is super soft and it just applies really well. We're going to be fixing up the shape really quick. And kind of blending it into that blood orange. Okay, and then for the inner corner, I'm going to go in with the only other shimmer, which is Beachy. Going to use the same itty bitty brush. I really liked these. They essentially had no fallout, which is really good. My shapes never quite match though. This is what we're working with. The shape is gonna bother me though. Okay, this is what we're working with. I am not going to add anything else to this. I think it is fine the way it is. I really like it. I am just going to put on my lip liner, Colourpop. I don't have e.l.f. liner just yet. I also don't have any e.l.f. palettes because I never really liked their formula. But if there's a good one, just let me know. And then for my lip, I'm going to go in with the only Lunar Beauty lip product that I have. See, I would declutter it, but I spent money on it, so I'm just going to use it up and then I'm not going to purchase again. This is the shade Hollow's Eve. It's like an orange that I thought was really pretty. It is a liquid lip, so putting your lips together like I've been doing, I would not recommend. I do need to let it dry down, and then I am going to redraw on some of that lip liner because I lost quite a bit of it. Okay, I did end up overdrawing it quite a bit. I'm going to go over it with a gloss to hopefully calm some of this down. I'm going to go in with my Essence Volume Lip Gloss in Crystal Clear. It's not crystal clear anymore though. Okay, the lips are a bit much, but everything else looks really pretty. Of course, my camera overheated. I went ahead and added a little bit of my brown e.l.f. liner in the shade Coffee. And so the last thing I'm going to add is my mascara, which sadly I don't have any e.l.f. mascara. This is the Urban Decay Wild Lash. I got it from TJ Maxx while I was in Colorado. It's really good, but if it's at TJ Maxx, I don't think it's available anymore. So I'm gonna have to go get more of them. This was just the travel size, but they do have a couple full sizes. I think it's pretty good. Okay, I think that's actually it for this video. Just me kind of taking you guys on my very long-winded weight loss journey. I am currently 169 pounds. I think my goal is probably around 135, but for my height, people would probably still say, you should probably shoot for 120. I don't know about all that. I have gone down some cup sizes, which is really great. I feel a lot better. The back pain has been lessened. But one thing I discovered is the tailbone pain grew as I've lost weight. Is that normal? Is that supposed to happen? Please let me know. But that is it for this video. I will have another try on with clothes next time. I kind of have to gather things to show you guys because there are a couple things that I held on to. I was like, well, one day when I lose weight, well, some of those things are actually now too big for me, so I kind of regret not paying attention to when I would have been able to wear them. But that is it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Please remember to stay hydrated and use the code DebCake7 on YesStyle. It is my affiliate code. Bye!